Hi, this is Eric Armstrong, and I'm just going to explain how to use the emoji palette to access IPA characters in any document that you're writing. It could be an email, a text document, a Word document. Really depends on what you need when you need it. So here we are looking at a blank text edit document. You can see up here in the left-hand corner, text edit is the application we're using. And if I am typing along and I want to put some IPA. I might start with a square bracket, and I want to type the symbols, the characters that are part of the IPA. My keyboard won't be able to help me. So I'm going to write this is in IPA. The symbol, which is the eth symbol, is not readily available for my keyboard. So what I'm going to do is hold down the Control, Command, and then I'm going to hit Spacebar, and that's going to pop up this little window. This is sometimes called the Emoji Window in websites, but ultimately it's a miniaturized version of the character palette. You can see along the bottom row here are a bunch of icons, and this is the Recents and Favorites pane, and it pops up as the default. Now you can see that I've got a bunch of IPA characters here. This is not the default, okay? Usually if you have a brand new version of OS 10 running, Mavericks, or perhaps in a couple of weeks from now, Yosemite, you would have this probably filled with emoji. So emoji are these guys, right? And they have things like flowers and horses and animals. Those are nature. Objects, so you want to put a little pumpkin in there for Halloween, you can do it. Characters are available. Recycling symbols. There's a lot of different things here, but there are also ways of getting IPA characters. The trick is that you need to scroll down. Scroll this window. I'm pulling down, I should say, with my trackpad, but that's essentially like scrolling up, and that reveals a search window and this little icon. And this icon is for making bigger, to bigify. So I'm going to click on that bigger icon, and that's going to pop open the characters palette. The characters palette is often accessible on a Mac. If you go over here, if you have this in your menu bar, this little American flag, or if you're in a different country and using a different kind of keyboard layout, you might have a different little flag. You click on that and it would show down here, hide character viewer, because we have it open the character viewer. I'm going to touch that and make it disappear. I'm going to bring it back. It says show character viewer. If this little flag icon is not visible in your menu bar, then you'll want to turn that on, and I'll show you how to do that in a later screencast. Excuse me. So here we are, we're in the characters palette, and you can see down the left-hand side here is a list of different kinds. I'm just going to make this bigger so that we can see the names of those a little bit more accurately. So you can see if I grab this, make that wider. If we go down this column, you'll notice Phonetic Alphabet. And this lists all the phonetic symbols of the IPA, and even some that are technically not officially part of the IPA. So if you want to add IPA characters to your recents or favorites list in that miniature version, what you're going to do is find a symbol that you want. So for instance, this type A is going to be on your keyboard already, but the script A beside it is not available. So to add it, you just favorite it. Now, of course, I've already added this to my palette. So I'm going to look for one that I haven't already added. I've added a lot, but I don't believe I've added this symbol, which is the Bullseye symbol, and it's for the bilabial click. That's the little kiss-like sound. So that little bullseye symbol, I could add it to my favorites. If I come over here on the right side in this corner, underneath the big version of the symbol, I can click on Add to Favorites. If I click on that, this changes to remove from favorites, so we know that it happened. If I go over here to the top left, go to favorites, you'll see the bullseye has been added to the bottom. So they're added in the order in which you put them in. So if afterwards I decide, oh, you know what, I don't want that at the end, I use the bullseye symbol all the time. I highly doubt that, but perhaps you would add a symbol that you want to be right at the beginning. You can just click and drag that symbol wherever you want it. And so here we've put it at the beginning. I'm going to put it back at the end because I'm not likely to use that very often. Okay, so if I go back to my button here in the upper right hand corner and click it, it minimizes, and you'll see that in the favorites I have my little bullseye bilabial click symbol. So to insert, all I have to do is find the symbols that I want. So if I'm going to write this is in IPA, I'm going to start with the symbol, which I associate with the letter D. So that's there. The small cap I have to search for that. S is already on my keyboard, so I type it. Space is on my keyboard. This is small cap I. Z or Z is already on my keyboard. I type it. Space. Small cap I. N on my keyboard. I type it. Space is on my keyboard. In V, it's going to be a the. So I find it. The E sound, the lowercase I, on my keyboard. The type A, keyboard, small cap I, space. P is on my keyboard, I type it. The E sound on my keyboard, space on my keyboard. E is on my keyboard, small cap I again, and then close bracket. Now you'll see that I haven't added any diacritics to my character palette. This is really for broad use. For more detailed use, I'm probably going to use a different kind of thing like the IPA palette that I'll explore in another screencast. So that's it for this brief explanation of how to use the emoji palette. If you want to get rid of it, of course, you just click this little closing X in the upper left-hand corner and it goes away. So hopefully you'll find that helpful. Remember, the characters for that are Control plus Command. That's the one that looks a little bit like a sort of four-leaf clover right beside the space bar, plus space. And that will get you what you need. Bye.